Good evening and probably good night from yammybtv. Wishing you all well, sending loads of love as usual. Thank you for all the comments earlier on about the. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better. I've had it 2 weeks today, snacky wise, so that means I believe that I'm on the mend now. So it's not going to be as long as what I thought. So I'll be revitalised probably tomorrow or Tuesday and come up here giving it the big spuds again and laughter and everything. We know how I am. But you know, there's other things as well as educational videos. We've got my story. We know that the books, the first book's going to be in audio book fashion. Probably going to be called Hopelessly Lost as well. You know, to put it plainly and simply. But along the way in that journey, there are the stories as well, and the kind of things that I got up to in there, allegedly, and others as well around me. And you meet different groups from all around the world. They might be in for this, they might be in for that. But Yammy being Yammy, after that, when I changed, I wasn't really interested in what people were in for. They sent me on the Isle of Wight from a mini riot from another sea cat with 5 months left. They tried to scare me by sending me on the island because it was going to be my first taste of high risk. Right? I think we talked about this before a little bit. So I'm in a sweatbox. I'm quite fearful, but I'm also thinking, I don't care. I'm going to rise to the occasion and I'm going to get what I want when I want and be in the mix, you know, because fearful, fright, whatever way we want to look at it, you know, we know now that it was the wrong choices and the wrong way to behave, and it cost me a lifetime in there, which I tried to, you know, express that it's not the right way to go. But some of you around other countries as well. I'm very close to certain followers and friends who've been there for me for quite some time. They've asked me a few times about certain other things and that we can't really talk about. But this one I believe we can talk about, because you do meet other countries who are in jail for different things. It's not my business to really judge, because I didn't know too much about it. And plus I was a bit young as well. And really, this was a real stage when I was trying to really impress some of the big names from all walks of life. So on the got off the sweatbox, I'm on the island, but I've only got 5 months left. Right, so it was kind of like, yeah, that's about, I'll probably survive that kind of thing, you know. But I was still a bit fearful because there's all different, you know, very much more dangerous prisoners on paper than me. Let's have it right, you see what I mean? But I was hungry, I wanted stuff, I was gonna, you know what I mean, to bury my head in the sand, if you like. But they put me on a wing where there's 5 or 6 Irishmen, you know, a few other different countries as well. But at that stage, the Irish had the stranglehold of this wing, right? So you walk into the wing and you've got spur to the left, spur to the middle, to the right. Then you go upstairs and there's plastic round the staircase, Patrick, and to the left, to the middle, to the right. And I think there's 3 floors, only 3 floors. Yeah, 2 floors or 3 floors, I can't remember, yeah. No, not more than 3. Yeah, it can't be more than 3. So I've gone there. I'm trying to make an impression. I've got the collecting job, like the taxman, that kind of thing. Like every Friday, I'll get jobs to do. And a couple of the Irish big ones, a couple of them, I think some of them in later life got repatriated during that time. A couple of them are dead as well. But you know, I didn't really find out problems. In fact, I kind of, the bigger man there, out of that little group, kind of took a shine to me, right? So I was looking to impress him, and having a job as a collector on Canteen Day when I was collecting different things from people, you know, gave me something, because he was looking after me as well. And you know what it's like when you're looking after me. When you give me something, I always think that I owe you forever. You know, so I was young then, I was up for it all, and it was going my way. But then the association time now. Some of you that don't know, that haven't been to prison, you get a job, right? You come back in the evening and there's an evening association. Most of the time it'll be from them days, I think it was 6 to 7:30. I think it was longer because then they shortened the association time in the evening, right? Remember, no phones. No phones. Or did the phones come? I don't think the phones ring. Can't remember. But I don't think cards had the currency there then. But you get association in the evening where you can come out, play pool, play table tennis, and then you can also put a table there, and there's also the game called dominoes, right? We know that it can be a loud game, a lot of noise, excitement, and pass and partnered up. You know, these are partner dominoes. So like if you got 2 Irishmen, you've got another man from a different country doing 22 years for big drugs. You got another man from London. But the strange thing is that the other two, not the Irish two, these two had one glass eye each, but they didn't know each other, but they worked together on a domino table and were gamblers. Because during the pool table things and table tennis things, what you realise about those institutions is that there's always people that want to be the best at everything and stay on the table all night, and you want a game and they beat you. There's always someone better at something than others. I was good at table tennis, I was shit at pool, but I did like the dominoes, a little bit of excitement. But this time I wasn't really playing no games. I used to stand and lurk in the corner with my little big chest and watch proceedings, basically, because, I had to keep my eye out for people as well, because the protection thing and that kind of stuff that we know Yammy had to do sometimes. But the one eye guys, for the 3 weeks build up, right, to coming out, I used to watch the dominoes, because you got people that you lose a 6-1 or you lose a 6-love, you get up and another two people go on. So there's normally about 4 or 5 double partners waiting to go on to play the winner who wins. Sometimes one person, people stay on the table all night, but also with all those games, people like to gamble. And it's currency. Like I said, they had the stranglehold at that time on that wing, right, with bits of respect and people fearing and whatnot, and all the stuff that went with that life as well. So, but the one I got in the beginning, the Irish were winning at almost everything because they were really good readers of the game, and they weren't cheats, right? But the other two, for a 2-week period, were winning every single day, so that by the Friday, the canteen day, the burn would go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ounces. Yeah? So you got that for 2 weeks, and they started to lose. But I used to like lurking around because, like a nightcap, you big man, give me a little, and then boom. But when people are losing, they don't feel in the mood, like everyone starts to feel that their day's sad because everybody gets a little boost of winning in that life kind of thing. But for those 2 weeks and the build up to the last 4 days, I was banging up in the evening and I was thinking something fiddly was going on. And then I had a funny little joke in my head. I thought the eyes, I thought the dominoes, you could see what he had in his hand kind of thing. But then I realised if you place the domino, right, place the domino like that. If you bang it like that, you tap under the table, or you tap twice and you pass or thing, there's different kind of signals. I started to think that they were cheating, and they was. So I started thinking, but I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to set it all off. But I knew the Irish weren't stupid. I knew that they were on it. And on the final payday, because I used to lurk around, like I said, like wait patient, but they were messing up my time by cheating as well. But the other guy was 19 stone, chubby, big built, but I had run-ins with him already. He had a funny, like I said, he had a funny eye, but he never liked me. And I used to go there because he used to Baron burn, he sell this, he's got canteen, he sells 1 packet of biscuits for 2. He was a mean man, right? And he looked shifty. And both of them looked shifty, and they were banging, slamming, winning, and everybody, because the stage was set, like everyone's watching. And when you're the boss of the wing, or you got some kind of hold, people, you start to feel that, it's the way it is sometimes. It's how I read it anyway, during that stage. So then it got to the Friday. So on the Thursday night before the canteen, I was in the cell. There were 6 of them. I was sitting in the cell, so I was in there, and they were talking kind of dark, like hot fat. They think something was wrong and blah blah. They couldn't be. They say nah, it's not. There's some fiddling going on, and they're talking about maiming and fat and hot fat and that kind of stuff. Boom. Friday came. Paying off 10 ounces around a big parcel of burn. So the big guy couldn't really, for some reason, I didn't want to get the London guy. I didn't really want to do anything there, right? But I went into the chubby guy's gone into the cell. They've given him the burn at 10 ounces, right? This is on the Friday now. So I'm listening to how they're feeling, and I know that the big man's hurting, kind of thing. So that then the chubby man's gone, but he's got a pillowcase, so he puts all the burn in it as well. Now, he has to go around the other bits of the wing as well, collect a double barrel ounce too. You know, the power struggles on the wing, that kind of stuff. But I was feeling it for the big man, and I only had a couple months left, and they'd looked after me all that time. It has to be said, you know, and we know that I was weak like that in that life. So he's going up the stairs with the green pillar. He's going up to the twos, I think, or threes, can't really remember, but he was up high and he took long to get there because he was really heavy. So I took it upon myself. I left him in the cell, went up there on my own, was following him around for a bit, and then he went up the stairs. And then I remembered a trick that somebody taught me a couple of years before. And this is, they're saying I did this one, allegedly, and you know how it is already. But apparently, I crept up behind him, put him in a sleeper, took the big bag, the pillowcase, run down the stairs, gave it to the big man, and they celebrated. They were giving me, you know, high five, hugging me, and you know, giving me the drink and all that and everything. And for the rest of the time I was there, they looked after me, and I went home. But it was one of those stories. But it's funny, the games and the little conniving little things that people can do with the gambling. So there, be aware again, high risk places. People you don't like to pay up, or they like to win and bet and lose, but not lose heavy as well, especially when they're being disrespected and cheated. But that's how it went, and I hope you enjoyed it, Kerry.